need to speak to your head doctor.
There's no doctors here.
Well, who's running this place?
Me, mostly.
Oh, okay. Well, it's been a while, but I'll do my best. I'll need masks, gloves,
right.
whatever you have that's sterile.
Thank you.
You can thank me by not dying. Oh my God.
He'll live, but he needs rest.
Hey, take it easy.
Where's May?
They say she could go at any moment. Where are you going?
I need to find Otto. He has the anti-serum. I don't know if I can beat him.
Maybe you can't. Maybe Spider-Man needs help from his friend Peter.
What?
Peter helped build those arms, remember? If anyone can find a weakness, it's him. Go get him, Tiger.
All right. No. No, that's not it. Maybe it's this one. No.
I have no words for what happened, man. I've, like, legit no words. This is your last chance to upgrade gear and abilities before the end of the story. Oh. Okay. Okay. Alright. Alright then. Alright. We're not gonna upgrade gear, but there's a lot of unfinished business that we have. They put me in such a tough spot, man. They put me in a really, really tough spot. Let me look something up. Let me look something up. I know this might sound weird, but let me just look something up. Just give me a second here. Alright. Alright. A quick search told me that I can do all of this stuff after. I can do everything I need to do after, and I can complete this game 100%. LFG.
Spider-Man.
LFG.
Hello.
Man, I gotta change this number.
I must leave New York. Recent events give me pause. Your rescue of Osborn, despite his hatred, it affected me. I must return home. Reflect on this life I choose.
Dang. I think I'm actually gonna miss you and your death troopers.
Unfortunately, my agents will stay. Though I question our work, they do not. And Osborn continues to pay. I am sorry.
So close to being good news.
Indeed. I will miss you and your bizarre witticism, Spider-Man. Until we meet again,
What a strange, violent lady.
This changes nothing. This changes nothing. But it's a start. It's a start.
Available units. Officers have been ambushed by snipers. Nearby officers, please proceed to the West Village.
A little bit too far away. You guys got this. I got something bigger I gotta handle. Let me check all of my gear and we'll go from there.
We did the impossible, Doc. But now I have to destroy it. With a little creation of my own.
And once again, we have live footage of Mayor Osborn being held captive on the roof of Oscorp Tower.
You want me to beg? Not gonna happen!
The world will know the truth before they mop you off the pavement.
Go! Ah!
Tell them what you did.
I never... Ah!
Everything you have is built on lies! Lies! Ah! You stole my company, my ideas! Now, the truth.
The truth. Okay. The truth is, you were only ever worth a damn when you worked for me! The truth is, you could never accept that I'm better than you! You're a failure, Otto! And you always will be!
Give me the anti-serum! Otto, you've worked your whole life to help people. Please.
You're fighting the wrong man. But have it your way.
You're standing between me and Aunt May.
We don't have much time! Please!
I'll turn over the anti-serum when Osborn pays for his crime!
Just give me the anti-serum! You've already done enough to ruin Osborn!
No! He always bounces back! He has to lose everything!
yourself!
I know your weaknesses!
I have no weaknesses! You're wasting my time! Osborn's the criminal, not me!
Oh. I'm sorry, I got distracted by something. I didn't realize I could web him. What's happening here?
I'm trying to help you!
What the heck? What did I press?
You're only hurting yourself!
I lost all patience with you!
Oh.
You're pathetic! Getting tired yet? Enough playing!
Gotta move. People are dying! They need the anti-serum now!
I will cure the city after I bring down Osborn!
Let me save the city! Then we can do whatever you want!
I already know what I want! Now get out of my way before I really hurt you! How much is Osborn paying you to protect him?
I'm not protecting him! I'm trying to save the city! Give me the anti-serum, and I promise Osborn will face charges!
Liar! Just like Osborn! Nothing but lies!
What happened to the man who wanted to help people?
The weakling? The loser?
He's not a loser, buddy. It's not like that. Damn it, Otto!
Doctor, you're not thinking clearly!
On the contrary, I finally have clarity.
Please! Every second we fight, someone could die!
Yes! And Osborn will have to answer for everything! this? Because it's finally my time! Give up now! Enough of this!
Jeezer. Otto, please. Oh, shoot.
Such a disappointment. Parker. You knew? I tried to warn you, Peter, but you didn't listen. You knew. I won't let you win. This means too much to me!
Not more than it means to me!
Can't you see all the people you're hurting? You'll never understand! You haven't suffered like I have! You should be on my side! I Please, think of the man you were!
That man is gone. You can't save me, Peter.
Then I guess you'll have to save yourself!
You're my hero! You meant so much to me! I hate that you're making me do this! We were going to change the world!
You look tired, Parker.
Not tired. Just hurt.
Otto!
If you want to change the world, you have to be the kind of man who can make the hardest decisions.
I couldn't agree more!
Peter, I saw you as a son. I should have known you'd turn on me, just like all the others.
Turn. I've worshipped you. Your mind, your conscience, wanting to help others. The way you never gave up.
That's because men like us have a duty, a responsibility, to use our talents in the service of others. Even if they don't appreciate it, we have to do what's best for those beneath us, whether they understand it or not.
No, you're wrong! You are everything I wanted to be! You just threw it away!
Yes, of course. You're right, Peter. Oh, I see that now. The neural interface affected my mind. But I can fix it. We can fix it. Together. If you'll help me.
Do everything I can. I'll make sure you get the best help.
No! If they put me away, they'll take my arms. I'll be trapped in this useless body. Please, Peter. That wasn't me. You said you'd never abandon me. You promised. Remember? And of course, you rest easy, knowing your secret is safe with me.
You do what you think is best, Doc. It's all any of us can.
Peter?
Even when it hurts like hell.
Peter, where are you going? Peter? Peter!
It's still viable. We'll need the entire sample as a base to produce more doses.
How long will that take?
A few hours. Maybe a day.
What if we use it to cure someone right now?
Then there won't be enough to cure the others. I'll give you a few minutes.
You're gonna be okay, ma'am. I've got the cure right here.
Take off your mask. I want to see my nephew.
You knew?
I've known for a while.
I never wanted you to worry.
I did. And I am so proud of you. And Ben would be too. All the people you've saved.
I don't know what to do.
Yes, you do.
So,
Hi, Mary Jane Watson, Associate Editor.
congrats.
Thank you.
I knew you could do it.
What about you? Find a job yet?
Oh, no, but,
I'll be right with you, honey.
Thank you.
I was actually considering maybe a career change. Yeah, I think I might want to become a chef.
I'm sorry. No, it's. You're a scientist. A good one.
Yeah, the last project I worked on, I created a monster octopus that almost destroyed the city, so.
Yeah. I mean, you do make a hell of a chicken curry.
I do. Still working on my dumplings, though.
Going camping?
Oh, my new place isn't gonna be ready for about a week, so I'm gonna be crashing with Miles for the next few nights.
Oh. You know, you can always stay at my place. Only if you want to.
No, I mean, yes. I mean, no, I don't. I not want to. But meaning, I do want to, but only if you do.
I never stopped wanting to.
Me neither.
I don't know if there's going to be any cutscenes or anything like that, and I apologize if I'm starting a little stuffy right now. That was an emotional moment. I couldn't mute the mic in time, so I'm pretty sure you heard me trying to get quiet sobbing. That's an emotional ending, man. That's an emotional ending to quite possibly the best game I've ever played in my life. You know, I'm a casual gamer. I don't play a lot of games, you know. Got work and all that kind of stuff, so the games you see me play that I haven't, you know, I mean, I played a lot of games in my childhood, but I mean, like, I don't think there's anything that's ever gotten me this emotionally invested in a game ever. I mean, obviously this is a passion project. This is Spider-Man's my favorite superhero of all time. It got quiet. I was waiting for a cutscene there. But yeah, Spider-Man's my favorite superhero of all time. So I have a lot of bias in regards to like this game, and you know, a lot of emotional investment just tied to it in general. But this is possibly the best experience I've ever had in a video game. I got super quiet during the boss battle. I was just a ball of focus and emotion, and it was trying not to let my emotion guide my movements, because if I did that, then I would lose. But at the same time, I didn't want to. I spent most of this game developing a hatred for Mr. Negative, and I was like, at the end, I'm like, I don't want to really hurt him, and especially Otto, man. That broke my heart. That broke my heart when it happened, and when it came to that broke my heart. Oh, and then obviously Aunt May. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like that. I kind of had a feeling. And I didn't know it was going to come down. I kind of had a feeling that she might go. I just didn't know it was going to come down to a decision like that. And this is... I mean, I don't want to say it's a perfectly written story because I haven't really sat down and analyzed this, but it is a great written story. This is the first time I've seen... I think they're about to get to a cutscene, so I'm going to be quiet for a second here and just see.
Well, I'm not an expert or anything, but I think it's in the way that you ask her.
I'm getting too nervous. Hey, all right, so where do you want this?
Right over here is fine.
All right. Hey, so Pete?
Yeah.
I, kinda gotta talk to you about something I can't tell my mom about.
What's up?
Well, weird things have been going on. Like, physically.
Oh. Well, you know, you're at that age where your body starts to change. And so you may be noticing some areas,
No.
for example...
Not that. I think it's better that I just, I show you.
No.
It's pretty weird, right?
Not that weird.
All right. Obviously knew that was coming. They were kind of setting that up in the video game. Then we have the DLC that was released for $60 and $70 called Spider-Man Miles Morales. Full disclosure, I'm not a fan of the Miles Morales character at all. They've tried to do some new takes on him, but it's just... I'll leave that out right now. I'll leave that out. I'm not gonna dive into the full character of Miles Morales, but you know, who's just another version of Peter Parker, the way they wrote him in the comics and stuff like that. So I mean, they've tried to do... I get it. They've tried to do different things with him, but you know, it is what it is at that point. But that's as topic for another day. Today is all about the greatness that was this game. Like, this was well-written story. Very, very, very... Like, there were some issues I had with it. I'm not gonna lie about that. But I was so emotionally invested that I kind of let that gloss over. If I ever really sit down and analyze the story of this game, then I could probably point out like a lot of the flaws and stuff like that. But man, the gameplay, wow. Except for that, like the only time I really had issues was with that one particular freaking area where all the Sable people showed up, and it was like so many flying men, and I'm like, how do I take down all of these guys? It's like I get in the air, they knock me down, and I'm like constantly having to dodge because they are all coming at me, and it's like, what am I supposed to do here? But eventually it did work out. It did work out. I did manage to pull off some stuff out of my butt. But man, the Doc Ock fight was, again, like a lot of origin stories in this game, but also just a lot of, you could tell like legitimately a lot of heart and passion went into this particular project, and it really does feel even more so like the Batman games. Like the Batman games, the Arkham games were made like somebody understood Batman and what he was all about. So, and you could really tell, especially from like the first one, you could really tell like what he was all about, and you could tell that they knew what made Spider-Man Spider-Man. In the way they wrote this story, they knew what made him the character that he is. And that's more so than I could say for anything they've ever done in the MCU. Even more so than they've done in any movie, realistically. Closest thing we ever got was the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man, but this was just an absolutely fantastic experience. Absolutely fantastic. I have so many, it's like I have so many words and I have no words at the same time. Like this has legitimately become my favorite game of all time. I don't think there's anything that's ever going to top this. It's unfortunate I won't be able to play Spider-Man 2 because I'm not ever really considering buying a PS5, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be a PS5 exclusive. Now if it comes out for the PS4, like they do that, it's PS4 and PS5. If they do that, I'll definitely get it and I'll definitely play it. But I am not necessarily inclined to buy a PS5, so it'll be unfortunate, but I'll have this memory for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life, I will. This was great. This is one of those moments where it's just like, man, you really feel like you experienced something. A lot of people have that with movies, some people have that with books, and a lot of people have that with video games. And this was the one, man. This was the one. Like, this actually takes the place of Wild Arms, which I've played on this channel. It's a turn-based RPG, but I love the story so freaking much that, like, and it was one of my first, like, really truly story-based driven RPGs that I got into. And, well, that's not true. I did Mario RPG, but like a serious story, like a serious story. Like I did Mario RPG. I played Zelda. I never really paid attention to the story all that much, at least not until like Zelda started coming out for the Nintendo 64. So, yeah, Wild Arms was like my first like legit one. And Final Fantasy and stuff after that, and like, but anyway, like Wild Arms was my first, so it like always holds a special place in my heart because of that. Will it be most people's choice? No, that would probably be never. I'm probably on the list of like 5 people that Wild Arms is the first Wild Arms is their favorite game. So I'm probably on a pretty big majority list in terms of this game being being their favorite game of all time. But yes, this is legitimately my favorite game of all time. Oh, they did a masterful job. Masterful job. Obviously some of the bugs are still in here from from launch. Some of those bugs just never got fixed in terms of things, you know, enemies spawning inside of crates and you know, stuff like that, or enemies just not appearing even though like everyone thinks there is one, the game thinks there's one, but there's just not one showing up on the map, so you wind up having to do entire sections over again. And it's only happened like a couple of times. It might happen a few more times when I go back and, you know, 100% this game. But other than that, man, like sometimes like the triggers didn't register at a certain point in time, which I noticed was, you know, that helped me up at a couple of times. So it's like you almost kind of like, you gotta like spam them, like not spam them, but like you gotta hit them a couple times for them to like register during one of those quick time events. But yeah, I noticed that, and like that was an issue. Like the other stuff, like the buttons all register, but maybe it's possible that it might be my triggers. So it may not be the game itself. It might be my triggers that are like just not responding at the same point in time or fast enough. So that might be the case. Never know. So that's I'm not gonna blame the game just yet for that one. But man, what an experience! Just what an experience. That's all I could really say. I mean, also say the music, phenomenal. Like the music was really phenomenal. The getting the mood right and matching the tone of everything that was going on, it's just one of those things that just further pulls you in, especially during the battle sequences and stuff like that. It's like everything, it wasn't, you know how it wasn't like really one of those like those not jarring, but kind of a jarring transition. It's like when you play any RPG, you encounter, you know, you have the random encounters and then the music suddenly changes. Now, in certain games like Kingdom Hearts, it'll fade and change, but in this one, it just felt like, man, it was a smooth transition, and it like ramped up and got you into what was, you know, what was going on. And like I said, the battle, the combat, absolutely beautiful combat. Do I want to say that it's better than the combat in Batman? Not really. I kind of want to, just, you know, because of my bias, but as far as like the combat, I just, you don't move as fast as you do in Arkham. No, don't get me wrong, Batman's super quick. You know, super fast. He can move across the floor and but nothing compared to what Spider-Man can do, obviously. So giving him a lot of those abilities and just having it to where like you have to just be on your P's and Q's in a lot of cases. So that was just like I said, they knew what made Spider-Man Spider-Man. Masterful. Like I said, just a masterful thing. So I only hope that Spider-Man 2 is going to be as good. From what I understand, Miles Morales wasn't a bad game. It was just incredibly short. I mean, they realistically, like honestly and realistically, they kind of suckered people out of their money in having just an extended DLC. Was something that should have cost like $20, you know, for the length of time. It just, you know, again, I haven't seen it. I have stayed away from Spider-Man stuff for a long time. My friend John even played this on his channel. And I stayed completely away from it. I'm like, I don't want any spoilers whatsoever. The only thing I saw was that demon takedown when they're at Fisk's stronghold, when one of Fisk's camps and the demons are taking it over. Now, I think in that cutscene, from what I remember, now this was years ago, but from what I remember, you had he was on the phone with Yuri. He was on the phone with Yuri. He was on the phone with somebody else then when he was doing those stealth takedowns. He was on the phone with Miles's father. He was on the phone with him. and he was like, yeah. So that's the only thing I saw. So it was that quick cutscene, and then it was the gameplay, which was him stealth taking down everybody, and I was immediately like, I'm on board. I don't want to see anything else. I didn't know anything about Mr. Negative. I knew that Rhino and Scorpion, who else? Elektra. I knew they were going to be in it. Did I? Dr. Octavius? Not. No, I actually didn't. So I didn't know about Otto. I honestly didn't know about Miles. I had no idea that he was in it. So I kind of gathered that from the release of Spider-Man Miles Morales. I kind of gathered that he was in this game. So I will say the end cutscene, that little transition is a little bit weird because like Peter doesn't necessarily have a reaction. Now maybe he already told Miles about it. No, I don't think so, but it's like that was just a little bit weird. It's a little bit convenient. Like I don't think that's how Peter would naturally react to seeing Miles just jump on the ceiling. He would have questions. He would have questions. I'm sorry, that's just sticking in my head. That's been sticking in my head for like the past 5 minutes of me talking, but that's just been sticking in my head. Like he would not react that way. But yeah, obviously I kind of put it 2 and 2 together that Miles Morales was in this game. So it wasn't necessarily a surprise when he popped up. So I kind of had that notion. Obviously, I knew that Mary Jane was going to be in it. Surprised Gwen Stacy wasn't, but at the same time, I understand why Gwen Stacy wasn't, because looks like they're kind of following a very similar timeline. I like some of the head nods and references to the Amazing Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Amazing Spider-Man, Sam Raimi Spider-Man, and some to the MCU. But not a lot, unless I might have missed some. I'd have to go back and like watch all of my footage, and maybe I missed some head nods. There wasn't a lot. There was a lot of head nods to definitely Amazing Spider-Man. Obviously, some of the musical cues are from the Amazing Spider-Man. Some of the musical cues are very reminiscent of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, but it seemed more like edging towards the Amazing Spider-Man. So it's just interesting. It's like, man, a video game gives you the story that you want. And guess what? It wasn't an origin story for Peter, right? But you get all of this backstory. And this is not a lot of gameplay. This is probably maybe 8-9 hours? Maybe 10? I'd probably say like a solid 8 to 10 hours of gameplay. So there's not a lot there. There's so much to do. There's so much to do, and so many side missions, so many like stopping crime and stuff like that. And just the overall experience of being Spider-Man, which is what the missions don't seem tedious, So I the only thing I think seems tedious is like the research lab projects for Harry. That's the only thing that seemed kind of a little bit tedious there. But other than that, like the crime, does it seem tedious? It's just like, hey, you're headed to this place, it's on the way, let me stop this real quick. You're headed around taking pictures of stuff, which is something, if you're not familiar with New York whatsoever, that's pretty cool. You get to, if you've never been or something like that, it's pretty cool. Maybe give you some actual sites to go see. But yeah, I am surprised. Certain things, and this is where I'll get into like the story just a little bit. Certain things that make sense. The raft is a shield, it's a shield fortress. It's a shield prison. So the fact that you didn't have shield agents on the raft, or anyone showing up from shield, or any Avenger showing up once the raft was compromised, that was kind of like, okay, what's going on here? You obviously know that the Avengers are here and present, but it's a little bit weird that, you know, it's one of those things like you expand the universe and then, well, you create issues when you expand that universe and you tell people that things are going on. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to Spider-Man. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be ported to PS4 whatsoever. I don't think that's going to be a thing, which is unfortunate. But like I said, I'll have this experience that will legitimately live on forever. For the rest of my life, I will experience this. All right, so on to other details. The DLC content. I will play it. Whether I will play that on camera or not is a different story. So I would probably say just kind of keep your ear to the ground on the channel. You know, it's kind of like some of the side stuff for the Avengers. You know, there's plenty there. You know, there's the T'Challa mission. There's the Hawkeye, and his daughter, I believe. Then there's Spider-Man, who's actually in the Avengers game now. There's some stuff to do with them. There's some missions. Kate Bishop is what I was thinking of. But I think where I kind of put that game down, I've uninstalled it. It's not even on this system anymore. I've kind of put that game down and kind of was like, yeah, I played the main story, so I'm kind of done. But I haven't really picked it up since. I will play the DLC and all that kind of stuff. I will do all of that. I just don't know if I'll do it for videos or not, you know, because obviously there's still quite a bit to do. There's still, I think there's still labs that I have to do lab missions for, and obviously, as Silver Sable said, there's still Sable troops all around, so I'll be able to stop all of those crimes, stop all of the other crimes. Well, I'm assuming. I know the side missions and stuff will still be there, so I'm assuming the crimes will still be there, because, you know, criminal's gonna criminal, yo. So, you know, it's kind of like, you know, with the strongholds where like Mary Jane was kind of like still talking to me on a friendly note, even though like story-wise in the main story, all of that kind of like we were not talking, you know. So she was like, I'm not gonna, like, I'll call you tomorrow maybe. So she was not talking to me. But yeah, so it might be kind of like that, where it's just kind of like they're just sitting there waiting. So yeah, I'll probably do all of that. Like I said, I am plan on 100%ing this game. I plan on 100%ing this game. And I really, really was worried when I got to that last point, when I got to Doc's lab, and I was like, ooh. I'm like, is it going to let me do any of this stuff? And that was the one thing I looked up for the game. I was like, is it going to let me do any of this stuff? And I did, and it worked out. It worked out. So I'm not going to lie. This is a lot of credits. This is a lot of credits. I don't think... Are even movie credits this long? I'm curious, are movie credits like usually this long? I don't feel like movie credits are this long. I feel like movie credits are like, or maybe I'm just, you know, running out of stuff to talk about and think about. But okay, I think we're getting into the end now. The Europe side, the European side of things. Okay. Jeez Louise. Yeah, so many people get credit, but I don't want to skip them. I think this game deserves it. It deserves to roll every single credit. So shout out to everybody that has been scrolling up past the screen as I've been yammering on, and will continue. So shout out to everybody who was involved with this game. Like, legitimately, shout out to every single one of you, that for all making this possible. So yeah, so make sure you in the comment section, you shout out everybody here as well. And okay, now we're in Japan. We're just gonna go across. We're just gonna go across the countries and all that. But no, I think we're reaching the end right now. Right now at Marvel. So yeah. Oh my gosh. Other than that, guys, that's all I got. That's all I got. This has been one hell of an experience. Lots of cursing that you don't normally hear me do. But again, this was an emotional investment, a passion project. This game has been sitting on my shelf for 2 years. So you probably don't know, this is a game that's 4 years old now, as I think, or getting close to 4 years old, as these videos are starting to come out. I have recorded this the year prior, so it's been sitting on my shelf since pretty much 2019, maybe 2020, maybe early 2020. But it's been sitting on my shelf for a long time. And I was just waiting for the opportunity. You know, I wanted to finish up Kingdom Hearts, you know, finish up Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which is still ongoing. Obviously, I don't know where those videos are at this point, at the time that I'm recording this this portion of it. But I wanted to finish those games, and I wanted to have an experience with this. Now, full disclosure, I've only been playing this game for 2 weeks. So I have been sitting down and playing this game nearly every day for 2 weeks straight. I do my work, I get off work, and I come here, and I sit down and record this. That's been my life. It was one of those moments that really took me back to kind of like my high school days, because I think about when Final Fantasy VIII came out. You know, like Final Fantasy VII, I got that later on. So Final Fantasy VIII, and why that holds an emotional emotional place in my heart, why that holds a special place in my heart, is that because that was one of the games that I got at release. Like, that was the first game that I got at release, because at the time, like, we were broke, right? So I didn't get games at release. I got them much later, you know, when they were on sale, or, you know, like somebody had played it, put it in, you know, and sold it. So then I would go buy it from, you know, kind of like a GameStop, but we didn't have GameStop then. It was just like, you just went there and, like, usually it was some pawn shop or something, and then you picked it up there and you played it. So that's what I had been doing. That's what I did with Final Fantasy VII. Most of the games that I played were that secondhand. That was the first game that I ever got on release. That's why Final Fantasy VIII was such a big thing. But it was, again, it's one of those things, like, you remember those days. You went to school, you did all your homework, you did your homework at school if you could, just so you could come home and play a video game. This was very similar to that experience. Very similar to that experience, of almost not the exact same. It was just like, man, get off work, sit out in front of the TV, and play the game. So that's been my life for like a straight 2 weeks. So like I said, doing a lot of side missions, stuff like that, leveling up. And I didn't mean to level grind. Like, that was not my intent. My intent was not to level grind. My intent was just to try to get as much done as much as possible. And I understand, like, I cut out a lot of that stuff because it's, you know, it's grindy. I get it. It's grindy, and you can do stuff, and a lot of that stuff where it could just kind of just seem really, really repetitive. But I think it's just like, you know, the different areas and the different environments, the different restrictions you got to deal with, because you got environmental restrictions, like the freaking strongholds, like where the Rikers people were holding up, was nothing like the warehouses where you could kind of like stealth. Like, that was super hard to do stealth in one of those areas, because like you had to do it in certain ways. Sometimes you had to do it hanging like off the side of a building, because they were just standing in spots where you just couldn't perch anywhere to get to them. And You know, like, so they made it more difficult. Like the environment changed. So it was like almost like a new challenge that arose every time you went to do something, you know, a new area, you know? So like, it's appreciated. Because if you think about it, they didn't really have to do anything like that. They didn't really have to, but they put in the extra effort to keep you invested for doing side missions and side quests that not everybody's going to do. Like, realistically, not everybody's going to do. Not every, you know, Let's Player is going to do that, you know, especially if you're doing a Let's Play. You're just trying to get through the story as quick as possible in a lot of cases because you're trying to move on to the next game, right? You're trying to like you're trying to get on, get the game played, and get out because you've got other games that you have to play. That's kind of one of the luxuries of this channel because it's like, you know, I do these are all kind of done at my leisure, you know, and you know, I don't necessarily have that heat or have that restriction. It's kind of like, all right, it's whatever, you know. I'll play a game whenever I get around to it or whatever. I don't have to play all the new releases and stuff like that. And while I do understand that helps the channel grow a lot better. I know I'm rambling at this point, but I understand that helps the channel grow faster when you play the newer stuff and everything like that. But, you know, like, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not trying to be Markiplier or anything like that. I'm just trying to provide something that's, you know, some good old-fashioned fun entertainment. And if people like it, you know, then people like it. And I appreciate you guys that like it and you support this, and that's great, you know. But if people don't, they just won't watch. It's always been the case, right? So, man, what a ride. What a ride. I'm sitting here thinking about some of the things that, like, I remember, like, when I started. Like, that's a very recent memory because it was only like 2 weeks ago. So, like, I remember when I started how bad I was to now where it was like, man, like, a lot of this stuff was just coming second nature to me, and it just felt... I'm gushing over this game at this point. I have been the whole time I've been playing it. The whole time, like, I've been talking during these after credits. Not the whole time because you know, there's some stuff I rambled about. But like, I know I'm gushing, but they just really captured what it felt like to be Spider-Man. And as a Spider-Man super fan, that just means the world to me. You know, like, that just legitimately means the world to me. Okay, so now on to the bigger question. Spider-Man Miles Morales. Will I play that? The short answer is no. Can I be talked into playing that? The short answer is possible. Possibly. Not possible, but possibly. Can I be talked into, coaxed into it? Possibly. The problem is I'm not a fan of Miles Morales. I don't like that character. So I'm kind of hard pressed to, even though I know it has a lot of the same, oh man, yeah. Shout out to Steve Ditko. Yeah, I know it has a lot of the same gameplay, some new elements, some new powers and stuff like that, but I'm just not a fan of the character. So, you know, am I going to do it? Probably not, but I would probably say no. I'd probably watch it before I'd ever play it. And if I'd watch it, then I'm not going to play it. And here's this asshole.
So close. But I'll keep trying. I will find a cure. I will. I love you, son.
The end game. So let's see if they got anything left after this. Let's make sure there's nothing gonna pop up because I don't want... Aha! The city is our oyster. Congratulations, you have finished the main story, but the adventure continues. You can now change the time of day in research stations or start a fresh adventure with ultimate difficulty or new game plus. Good luck, hero. Here we go. New suit, anti-ox suit. Okay, so that was the last suit I had to unlock. Yeah, new suits available. Did I level up at the very least? Did I? Is leveling up even a thing anymore? The city just seems so quiet. Like, it legitimately seems quiet. Let me check it out. Alright, so yeah, everything's still here for me to do. Let's check out my suits. Yep. Wait. Wait. What the heck? You're just not going to show it to me? Ah, come on. Come on with that. Got a new power. What's this? Distribute nanotech continuously. Okay. That's not really going to help me. Proximity sensor reveals nearby secret photo locations on the minimap. Secret photo locations? There's secret photo locations? I might have to look into that. I might have to look into that. Okay. Where's the new one? Did I miss the new one? Amazing. Arachnid. Armored. Wait, do I have to unlock it? It says unaffordable. Complete all main mission side quests and reach 100%. Oh, okay. District completion in all districts to unlock this suit. Oh, yeah. Okay. I am going to do that, and I will talk about what that, you know, maybe I'll reveal, maybe I'll do a special episode of what happens at 100%, you know? You know, come in for that video, maybe do a little bit more rambling or whatever. Never quite got the skills up to 100%. Can I do that now? Yes, I can. We're blasting off again. There we go. Superior Spider-Man. Sweet. All right. So, again, the world is our oyster. Or the city is our oyster. Where are we? It's just so quiet, man. Oh.
Escaped prisoners have taken a bus hostage. Any officers near Madison, proceed to the crime scene.
Well, so much for it being quiet, guys. Up until then. Onwards and upwards, I guess. It is time for the new adventure to begin. Oh,
How's
hey.
your mom?
Fine. Right back to complaining about not having grandchildren.
So, you gonna take that vacation now?
Are you crazy? There's no time for that. The apocalypse didn't happen, which means we've got a city full of loose ends to clean up.
Sounds like a big job, but we're up to it.
Not you. For a job this tough, we need Spider Cop.
You said it! You even did the voice!
Okay, don't make it weird.
You like me! You really like me!
You made it weird. Let's go, we've got work to do.
I can't wait.
Spider Cop surveys the city, placid, but seething with turmoil just beneath its calm surface.
What have I done?
All right. See ya, Yuri. Let's go!